Biomedical engineering is nothing but wherein the engineering principles you apply for healthcare, that is various for diagnostic purposes. You need to start studying now, and always remember, don't by heart the subject. It is okay if you by heart the structures, the definition and all that. Forensic science, it is actually one of the most interesting streams if you have to ask me. Every information of an organism related to the genes is stored in Bioinformatics. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to today's session on Bridge Course for First PUC or the 11th Standard. I'm Dr. Divya, Biology Faculty, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Mysore, Temple of Excellence. So in today's session, we shall deal about the scope of biology. So you have loved biology subject, and that is one of the reasons why you would have chosen biology as a subject for your first PUC, right? But there will always be a question mark or a doubt running in your head. What next after biology? What streams can I enter into to study my higher education or for my higher education? So we can help you out with that. So biology is very vast, and biology, since it deals with the study of the life processes, every now and then or a new course comes up in biology. So earlier, biology, it was only limited to after you do your biology, either you take up your MBBS or you go into engineering or you enter into be it dental, and also you can go in for your degree wherein you take a BSc and then you can enter into your post-graduation. So this is how. But again, once you enter into your post-graduation, keeping biology as a background, you can diversify the streams. You can enter into various streams of your choice. So what you can choose. So we will help you with that. So in today's session, we shall see what is the scope of biology. So start studying your biology very well now, because once you see this session, you will feel enthusiastic to know that there are a lot of interesting streams that are there which you can take up or which you can opt for your higher studies. So we shall start the session today. So first field that you can take up is anthropology. So in biology, I told you one of the main concepts in biology is evolution, right? So anthropology is one such subject. It is a very nice subject, and it is meant for travelers, people who like to travel. They can go to places, they can work with other people, they can excavate or they can dig soils to find out the remains of old age, like how they did with the mummies, they found out the fossils of the dinosaurs, the prehistoric men, all that. So all that you will study under anthropology. It is a very interesting subject. Those who like a lot of field work, they can study anthropology. So you can learn about evolution under anthropology, how humans evolved, how the dinosaurs got perished, what are the different dinosaur species. Even today, I know you all love watching the National Geography and the Discovery Channel, right? And when you see them, even I feel the same. When I see them doing all these works wherein they keep digging the soil and removing bones, old pottery, old coins, old jewels, and learning information from them, how the how the prehistoric people used to live, how the ancient civilization people used to live. So all those works, it is very interesting, right? So we ourselves, we feel, why not we be in that position? How nice it would have been, right? So for that thing, you can take up anthropology for your higher studies after you complete your biology in your PUC, after your second PUC. So anthropology is nothing but the study of the physical and the mental constitution of man. So it is mainly concerned with man. So what the prehistoric man did. So it is always a question mark. Still now, the scientists have not come to a conclusion how the human beings came into existence. We believe that it is from the apes, but still the work or research on that is going on. Who knows, someday you might be the one contributing to that particular research. So you can join for anthropology. Next is one more stream is biotechnology. So after your PUC, you can opt biotechnology for the BSc, that is the Bachelor of Science, you can opt for biotechnology. So biotechnology is one such subject which deals with the organisms and their industrial use, be it the microorganisms, how it is useful in industry. Say for example, the penicillium, it is used to make antibiotic, penicillin, right? The penicillin antibiotic, streptomycin antibiotic. So all those are derived from the microorganisms. So which subject played a major role there? The biotechnology, wherein the biotechnology researchers contributed a lot to that. Not just that, genes, the study of DNA, the study of the genetic hereditary material, what is there in the DNA, what mutations or what changes occur in the DNA, the study of the cancer cells, all what changes, what is the change in the genetic material that brings about the spread of the cancer or the brings about cancer, all that you can study under biotechnology. Not just that, in biotechnology, we can develop the biomolecular and the cellular processes by using various technologies. So we have various technologies, that is computer-based related technologies, and certain experiments. We will be conducting certain experiments in the lab, and the data will be put into the computer, and the computer is the one which will interpret and give us the results of all the hereditary material or the DNA in general. So that is what is done in biotechnology. And biotechnology, of course, it is difficult, but once you start loving the subject, it feels just like a story wherein you learn about the DNA, about the genes and all. It's so beautiful. So that stream also you can choose after your PUC. Next is food technology. Who doesn't love food, right? There is a quote saying happiness is trying new food, right? Who doesn't love food? So food technology is one such thing for the food lovers or the foodies, you can say. So in food technology, we will study how processing is done. The best thing is after your PUC, you can enter into BSc in food science in CFTRI. That is one of the best options that is available here in Mysore. And not just that, all the students from all over the country come and join here. It is a very beautiful course wherein they will study about the processing and preserving food. So you have in your high school, you might have studied how the foods are being preserved. The best example is jams, the pickles. So now artificial things are used to preserve, artificial sweeteners, artificial preservatives and all are used to preserve food, right? But who knows, maybe in the future days, once you take up food technology, you might be the one who's contributing a lot to preserve food in a natural way than using the artificial preservatives. You will just click like that. So that is one of the important things that you can do once you take up food technology. So you can go in for processing and preserving the food, then also various agricultural products, how they are transformed into food. So R&D, while cooking itself in a house, when we cook or when our mothers cook for us, they do a lot of R&D to come up for research, right? So the same thing that we do in the kitchen can be taken up to a larger extent under food technology. It is a very beautiful course which you will enjoy. So that also you can join after you finish your second PUC, that is the food technology course. Next, we have biomedical engineering. All these were not there in the previous years or earlier, but nowadays all these are being given importance. That is why I said as the year goes, a number of streams in biology, it's not restricted to just engineering or to just medicine or you do your dental. It's not just limited to that now. There are a vast number of things that you can take up after your PUC. You have biomedical engineering. So biomedical engineering is nothing but wherein the engineering principles you apply for healthcare, that is various for diagnostic purposes. Like say for example, okay, a doctor's work is to treat the patient, but to treat the patient, a doctor will use a stethoscope, right? The simple instrument that he uses first once a patient enters into his room is the stethoscope. Who do you think is the one who designs that particular stethoscope? It will be the biomedical engineer, or the X-ray machines, or nowadays robotics are the ones that perform the surgery and all that, right? The doctor will not need to do anything. Only thing is in the computer, it's enough for him to give the instructions and the robotic arms will do all the precise surgery and all that it will do. So who do you think is the one behind that? It is the biomedical engineer. So you can go in for biomedical engineering by keeping biology as your background in your PUC. So wherein it also includes electrical, mechanical, then chemical and life science principles in the development of new healthcare technologies and systems. So for all these in terms of medical field, all this is used. The best example is earlier they used to do surgery wherein they used to do large cuts, right, to operate. But now we have the laparoscopy that has come up, wherein the healing time is also very low, and also very small cuts are made, just very tiny cuts are made. But remember the earlier surgeries, how it used to take place. So that is why, thanks to biomedical engineer. So this is one of the important fields that you can enter after your first PUC. Next is veterinary medicine. So we all love animals, right? Who doesn't love? And it is very, like, if we need something, if a parent say, what do you want for your birthday? I know that most of you will prefer, just give me a cat or a dog. I'll be happy with it, right? Because dogs especially, they are the best companions, and who doesn't love to spend time with them? For those animal lovers, veterinary medicine is one of the best option. You can go in for veterinary medicine or veterinary science. So here under veterinary medicine, you can mainly deal with the animal health, and also it deals with prevention, control, diagnosis, and also treatment of diseases. And not just that, you can open a lot very small clinics wherein people, you might have seen every time people, there'll be a rush outside the veterinary clinic, right, with people holding dogs and all that. And how beautiful it is to play with the dogs and treat them every day, right? It is so nice. It will also calm our mind and all that. So for the animal lovers, this veterinary medicine is one of the best option that you can choose after your PUC. Next, we have medicine. So this is one of the common stream that people keep in mind. So every time I know that, even when I was in my first PUC, if people ask me, why did you choose biology? I would say, I want to be a doctor. It is one of the common thing that we all say. But is it possible for everyone to become a doctor? No. Like, if you try hard, of course it is, but maybe after, like, once we finish a PUC, ideas will change, wherein we are going to look into different streams. And the first important stream that is preferred after the PUC is the medicine, that is the MBBS. So in medicine is the one wherein you'll be treating the diseases. So it's nothing but a doctor wherein you can do your MBBS, or you can enter into the MBBS. So it involves diagnosis, prognosis, wherein prevention of diseases, treatment, and also treating the injury, and all those things, promoting health. So all those things are done in medicine. So you can opt for medicine as well. So if you need to go in for medicine, you have to concentrate now itself. You have to start studying, because you know that the entrance exams that are there for the medical field, it is very tough, right? So you need to start studying now, and always remember, don't by heart the subject. It is okay if you by heart the structures, the definition and all that, and certain scientific terms and all that. If you by heart, it is fine, but please understand the concept, because if you don't understand the concept, then it is very difficult to crack the NEET exam, that is the entrance exam, which is usually for joining the medicine course. That is why. So this is one of the best stream that you can enter into. And next is forensic science. So forensic science, it is actually one of the most interesting streams, if you have to ask me. Because why? Because here we do a lot of investigation. So I know that there are mobile games, right, wherein you have detective related games, puzzles and all that. So like usually when there are a set of games, we always prefer playing the detective related games, and we like to find hidden objects, we like to solve the puzzles they give us and all that, right? So imagine there itself we give a lot of importance to that, and we love playing those games. Then what about taking forensic science? It is very interesting, right? So here you can investigate the crime or the paternity issues, not just investigating the crime. So by taking the fingerprint, it is very interesting. Not just that, people who are in biology background, even pollen grains also matter. What happens is the pollen grains will, that criminal, say for example, there is a criminal who has murdered somebody in a forest. So he would have visited the forest. In that forest, there is lot of daisy plants. Okay. So those daisy plants pollen grains would have stuck on his shoes. So police will have a small clue stating that maybe that person is the criminal. So what they can do is they can collect his shoes and check for the pollen grains. So that is the time when the biologist will come for help. The biologist will check the pollen grain and he will decide, okay, in that particular forest daisy is growing more, that is why daisy pollen grains are stuck on his shoes. So 90% chances that he might be the criminal. It is very interesting, right? Not just that, DNA fingerprinting, just by taking a small bit of a nail, hair or a skin or any small tissue, the DNA fingerprinting can be done and the criminal can be found out. It is a very interesting subject. There are a lot of things, even not just that, even the footprint of the person, you can match it with the soul. So it is very vast and very interesting. So there are a number of colleges nowadays which offer forensic science. Earlier it was not there, but now it is one of the interesting subject that you can opt for, forensic science. So it includes several disciplines such as DNA related fingerprinting analysis, then tracing the evidence and keeping digital records of that. All those can be done. That digital is nothing but phone records of the person. Everything will be taught, everything. So if you have watched any detective movie and all know what the detective does there, all that will be taught under forensic science. It is very interesting. So you can opt for forensic science after the PUC. Next is geology. Geology is the study of earth. So the earth's crust, what are the different materials that are there in the earth, different types of rocks, the soil condition, all that comes under geology. So the study of the earth and everything related to the earth comes under geology. Even the inhabitants, the animals, the plants, the other organisms, everything that is inhabiting in the earth, right from the air to the rocks to the soil, the sand, everything comes under geology. And geology is also one of the very important subject. So that also can be taken up after your PUC, for your BSc. Next is bioinformatics. So bioinformatics is one of the most trending courses that you can take, because I know there are very, very few bioinformatics people nowadays available, and you can get a variety of opportunities, especially in the post-graduation streams. There is subjects related to bioinformatics where there is nobody or minimal number of people in a particular place to teach that. So at that time, the opportunities are more if you take a bioinformatics, and it is also very, very interesting because it is something related to computer. Here, the biology and the computer will be clubbed together, wherein whatever biological information that you collect, that is genetic related information that is collected, will be stored in the computer. So it's just like earlier we had libraries, right? If you wanted, when mobile phones were there, but internet was not that developed or that vast, not available to all, we used to go to the library to read for books. In library, we used to search the catalog and then we used to select the books, right? But nowadays in library, what they do, everything is in the system. Just go and tell them the author name or the just one word of the book, the list will come wherein we will know whether the book is there in the library or not. But earlier, there used to be drawers, small drawers. We need to pull. Say for example, I need a book on anthropology. Then I had to pull the A drawer. Again, there will be subdivisions. I had to search. Searching for book only would take half an hour to 1 hour, whether it is there in the library or not. But nowadays everything is maintained in the computer, right? Just like that, even bioinformatics, any gene, say for example, you are a researcher and you're working on the gene of frog. Okay, so buffer that is stored, and the normal frog or the tree frog that we see, So you need to understand to know the similarities between the genetic nature of the tree frog and the buffer, the toad that we have. You need not go into do studies on the buffer as well. What will be there? All the information, that is what is the genetic nature of the buffer, what nucleotides they are made up of, what is the genes, how many number of genes are there, how many are active, all those to know, it will be stored in the computer because it would have already been done by other. You need not do the experiment again. Only if you experiment on the other frog, it is enough. But buffer's genetic information will be available in the computer. So that is nothing but bioinformatics. Every information of an organism related to the genes is stored in Bioinformatics. And bioinformatics to interpret the data, we need bioinformatics person, because any biologist, it is not possible for him to interpret the data and to store, like there are various apps under bioinformatics, so not everybody are familiar with that, and also we don't know how to use statistical methods in bioinformatics and all that. So we need to look for a person who is a bioinformatic person, right? So this is one of the main field that has a vast scope nowadays. Anywhere you go, you'll get a job, because now genetic studies are increasing. People are giving more and more importance to the molecular related studies or the genetic related studies. So bioinformatics is one such field which you can choose. And especially people who don't want to take up computer science, still want to work with the computers, they can go in for bioinformatics. So it is a interdisciplinary field that combines computer science, mathematics, statistics and engineering to process the biological data. The best example is there is an app called as NCBI. So in NCBI, you can open that and you can just type the name of that animal species and you want to know the genetic information. Every information will come. What are the genes? Those genes, what kind of proteins they produce? What is the structure of the protein? So that you need not waste your time doing the experiment. So that is about bioinformatics. So we can understand, but there are a lot of things in that which we are not able to interpret. So that time bioinformatics person will come to the help. So bioinformatics is one such field which is very, very in demand now, in very demand, because people need such persons, because there are a very few people there in bioinformatics. So you can choose this stream soon after you finish your PUC, that is bioinformatics. So this was about bioinformatics. I hope this session was very useful and you have now a clear picture in your mind what you can choose, what you can take up once you finish your PUC. So there are various streams. I have just mentioned very few now, but within this only there are various divisions that are there and it is very vast. So you can search for them and which is apt for you, which you love doing. Don't take up a subject because somebody else wanted you to do it. Love the subject. Only if you love it, you can enter into that stream and you can study well and you can become a responsible citizen where you can serve the people in a good way. So all this you can do after your PUC. So these were the streams that you can choose. So I hope you liked this session very well and you understood. So study well, because at the end of the day, what concepts you learn, that will only help you. So don't by heart, study and understand the subject and study well. Okay. So I hope you have understood this session. Thank you.